The letter trembled in my hands as I placed it on the polished mahogany desk. One page. Simple. Respectful. Final. I'll be retiring next year. I'd written, my pen scratching through the ache of goodbye. Thank you for 35 years of trust and opportunity. I thought I'd feel relief. Instead, my heart pounded against my ribs like it was trying to claw its way out. Across the office, the hum of fluorescent lights buzzed above muted chatter. The familiar scent of burnt coffee and toner hung heavy in the air. The smell of decades spent building someone else's dream. I'd given my notice exactly 12 months early, enough time to train my successor, to leave the department stronger than I found it. After all, that's what loyalty meant. But as the months passed, my letter might as well have been invisible. No announcement. No acknowledgement. Not even a let's discuss transition. It was as if my entire career, 35 years of early mornings, late nights, missed birthdays, and quiet devotion meant nothing. First, I told myself they were busy. The company was expanding after all. My boss Ethan had just taken over as VP. Charismatic, sharp, always smiling. He called me the backbone of operations. I believed him. Until I didn't. Hey Marla, did you hear? Ethan's forming a new task team for the merger. Lisa whispered one morning at the coffee station. I looked up from stirring my cup. Merger? What merger? She hesitated. Oh, I thought you knew. They're restructuring next quarter. Ethan's hand-picking staff. The spoon slipped from my fingers, clinking against ceramic. Restructuring. My department. The same department I'd built from scratch when Ethan was still in college. I laughed it off, but a pit opened in my chest. That night I stayed late, just like always, combing through reports. But when I tried to access certain financial files, a red message flashed. Access denied. I stared at the screen, frozen. Access denied? To files I'd created? The next morning I went to Ethan's office. He looked up with that polished corporate smile. Marla, everything okay? I got locked out of the budget folders, I said carefully. Could IT? Oh yeah, he interrupted, brushing it off. We're reorganizing permissions. New structure, new hierarchy. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. I wanted to believe him, but a flicker of unease ignited in my gut. The kind that whispers something isn't right. Weeks passed. Meetings happened without me. Emails went unanswered. My input, once sought after, now dismissed with polite nods and half smiles. Still I stayed. Showed up every morning. Trained junior analysts who didn't realize they were being groomed to replace me. The betrayal was subtle, professional, calculated. Like death by 1,000 paper cuts. Then in March I overheard them in the hallway. Ethan's voice. Once she's gone, we can consolidate her role. No need for another senior manager. Saves the company a fortune. A younger voice replied. But she's still here until December. Ethan chuckled. Not if she quits before that. The world tilted. I pressed my back against the wall, the air thick and sour with cologne and deceit. So that was the plan. Pretend not to hear me. Not to see me. Erase me before I could walk away with dignity. I spent that night awake, staring at the ceiling. Every late night, every holiday I'd worked through, every problem I'd solved, it all came flooding back, bitter and hollow. I thought about confronting Ethan, about demanding recognition, closure, respect. But then something inside me shifted. If they wanted to erase me quietly, I'd let them. But I wouldn't leave empty-handed. For 35 years, I'd held the keys to everything. Process maps, vendor contacts, compliance files, archived budgets, the company's operational DNA. So I began quietly documenting everything. The overlooked risks. The outdated systems I patched manually for years. The shortcuts that only I knew how to manage. Not sabotage, no, I wasn't that kind of person. But I'd make sure when I left they'd feel my absence. By summer, Ethan barely looked at me. He'd started calling a young consultant the future of operations. The same consultant who now occupied half my desk space. One afternoon, I found my name missing from the department org chart. Must be an oversight, Ethan said with that practiced grin. We'll fix it next update. I smiled back. Of course. That night, I uploaded my final audit, detailed, precise, unflinchingly honest. Every flaw I'd quietly fixed over the years was laid bare. Every dependency that relied on my oversight exposed. Then I scheduled the report to autosend to the entire board. The day after my retirement. When December arrived, I left quietly. No farewell speech, no party, no plaque. Just a cardboard box and a hollow smile. Ethan shook my hand in the lobby. "We'll keep in touch," he said. I knew we wouldn't. A week later, the first call came. Then another. And another. "Marla," one of the directors pleaded over voicemail. "The systems aren't syncing. The merger data's corrupted. Can you?" I didn't answer. The following month, the company made headlines. Merger falls apart amid operational collapse. Ethan resigned soon after. Sometimes I walk past the building on my morning walks. The new logo glints in the sunlight, sterile and unfamiliar. Do I feel vindicated? Maybe. But mostly I feel free. For years I thought loyalty meant staying until the end. Now I know better. Loyalty isn't about endurance. It's about being seen. And when people refuse to see you, walking away isn't betrayal. It's survival. Moral. The quietest departures leave the loudest echoes.